Why hello there friends, it's Emma here, the Bookish Princess. So I've had 2 boxes here that I have resisted opening all week because I wanted to sit down and open them together. I placed a book depository order a while ago. I feel like book depository, it takes just long enough to get to you so that you kind of forget what you ordered. I have such a long wish list of books that I would like to get at some point on book depository. There's not really room for these books on my bookshelves, but we'll figure it out. Alright, here we go, finally. All week long I've been like, oh, well, maybe I'll just open it and like film the haul, you know, without the packaging. But it is kind of exciting opening it together on camera. Ooh, okay, these have been on my list for absolute ages. This is one of my favorite authors, Elizabeth Goudge. I've seen these books on Instagram, these editions. They are by Hodder Books. I have lots of older editions of Elizabeth Goudge, and I'd never ordered these ones before because I knew once I started ordering them, I will probably want to collect all of them. I have a lot of ebook editions of Elizabeth Goudge too, and it's like, well, if I don't have room for it on my shelf, and I already have it as an ebook, should I really be buying it? But Elizabeth Goudge is one of my just absolute favorite ride or die authors, like right up there with Jane Austen and P.G. Wodehouse. So I figured these need to come and live on my shelf someday. This one is possibly my favorite Elizabeth Goudge. Actually, did I order 3? I guess we'll find out when I open the other box. It's A City of Bells. Look at how pretty. I do love the illustrations here. I wish that the spines were more interesting because like the cover is so pretty. I really like that diamond effect and these pretty kind of woodcut illustrations. A City of Bells is about the cathedral town of Torminster. Returning injured from the Boer War, Jocelyn Irvine travels to Torminster and stays with his grandfather. It's just such a lovely story that unfolds. Elizabeth Goudge's characters are always so warm and rich and full. There's a bookshop, there's a love story, there's a mystery, really just about everything you could want. This, The Castle on the Hill by Elizabeth Goudge, is one of the few Elizabeth Goudge novels that I have not yet read. Amid the chaos of the Second World War comes a charming story of courage and friendship. Hidden in a quiet rural corner of England, the crumbling castle is home to lonely historian Mr. Burley and his nephews, fighter pilot Richard and fair peace-loving Stephen. With young evacuees Moppet and Poppet and mysterious violinist Joe Isaacson, this unexpected family of strangers come to rely on each other as the devastations of war rage on. So it's like I'm excited to read this because it's an Elizabeth Goudge novel I haven't read yet, but I'm also kind of wanting to put it off, like save that treat for later. Okay, let's see what's in here. I'm thinking now that I did order a 3rd Elizabeth Goudge because I thought I ordered my 2 favorite Elizabeth Goudge novels, which are A City of Bells and Dean's Watch. So we'll have to see if Dean's Watch is in here or if I decide to save that for later. Ooh, there are 3 books in here. I totally forgot what I ordered. Well, I didn't totally forget. Look, I did order Dean's Watch. So I thought this was very mysterious. See, I got a blue, a yellow, and a pink. I thought this was mysterious, though. They called 3 of the books the Cathedral Trilogy. So Dean's Watch is also set in a cathedral city. This is actually set in the city of... Oh, did they name it? I know that this city is based on Ely, and this city is based on Wells, and I've been to Ely and was reciting Dean's Watch as I walked through the city of Ely. Elizabeth Goudge lived in both Ely and Wells. So these 2 books are similar because they're both set in cathedral towns, but they are not at all related story-wise or character-wise, and it's just funny that they lumped these as a trilogy because actually A City of Bells, so this is the one with the bookshop set in Torminster, this technically is part of a trilogy. There are 2 other books in the Torminster saga. These are, I think these might technically both be children's books. Elizabeth Goudge is probably most well known for The Little White Horse, which is a children's book, although she's such a wonderful author that it doesn't matter if you're reading them as an adult. They're still such lovely, meaningful books to read. So Sister of Angels is set at Christmas time in Torminster, and Henrietta's house is just delightful. This is set more in the spring. This has a whole bunch of illustrations. These are actually both by Girls Gone By. I don't think this publisher has put out these two books, but if you like A City of Bells, it's definitely worthwhile to track these two down because they are just delightful. I just think it's funny that they called this a trilogy when it is a trilogy, but not with the books that they included. Anyway, the protagonist of Dean's Watch is the Dean of the Cathedral City. When Cathedral Dean Adam Escoff encounters clockmaker Isaac Peabody, their unlikely friendship touches the lives of the entire community. So the Dean's Watch does refer to his watch, and Isaac, I loved his character so much, and seeing what's going on in his clock shop. Actually, this is a pretty good Christmassy read. I'm pretty sure parts of this, take place at Christmas. So now I'm kind of tempted to pick this up and reread it. I probably should not let myself reread either of these too soon, because I feel like with my favorite books, it's like if I reread them too much, I would never want them to become stale. So it's like I have to save them for special occasions. Anyway, there were two other books in that package, and they were both, unsurprisingly, the Penguin English Library paperbacks. I love these paperbacks so much. You guys have seen, though, many times before, my Penguin English paperback shelf, which has slowly grown over the years. I did branch out this year into some of the hardcovers. I did get the Jane Austen hardcovers with these cool Penguin English Library covers. I just love the designs. The paperbacks in particular look so cool when they're lined up together with the kind of orange and colorful stripes. So these two books are A Handful of Dust by Evelyn Waugh and The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. Evelyn Waugh wrote Brideshead Revisited. That's probably the novel he's most well known for, but I've been wanting to try A Handful of Dust. Evelyn Waugh's bitterly funny novel of betrayal and selfishness combines dazzling comedy with savage satire. Evelyn Waugh is one of those authors that I've always been kind of meaning to get to know better, so I'm excited to have this on my shelf, and I will probably be breaking this in very soon. This book is one I've read before. It's The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. I just thought it was such a great cover, such a cool Art Deco design. Nobody throws a party like Jay Gatsby, whose Long Island mansion buzzes day and night with riotous crowds of bright young things. I feel like The Great Gatsby needs no introduction. I don't have any F. Scott Fitzgerald on my shelf. I don't think I actually own any, so I just thought this would be a classic that I would like to own and probably someday will pick up and reread. So 3 of my 5 books are books that I have already read and I know I will want to reread. When it comes to books that I'm going to have kind of permanently on my shelf, I do usually like to have read them previously or like be fairly confident that I'm going to want to have it on my shelf. Otherwise, I'll just get it from the library or, pick it up as an ebook. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. As always, I'd love to hear from you down in the comments. Let me know what you've been reading. Have you treated yourself and done any book ordering lately? I am going to be filming a November reading vlog, so stay tuned for that. I hope you guys have a magical and a bookish day, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye!